Folks, welcome to an all-new episode of So Bad It's Good. This is your pal Ryan, and this is going to be a Southern Charm recap. And we are joined by a lot of requests for her. I can understand why. She is back. It's been a week and a half. She has just entered her third trimester.
It's been fun.
Well, yeah, it's baby mama Rebecca. Woo!
Hi.
Listen, folks, I get nervous about doing, as we get closer to the baby, there is, it's hard. What she's going through is really hard. And day to day, you either feel okay or you just feel horrible, right?
Yeah.
And so we woke up today on Saturday and she was raring to go. She was like, let's do this. And so I didn't think we were going to do it this week, but we are doing it this week. I do want a programming note. There's a lot of episodes on the main feed. I know sometimes I can freak people out, but it's free besides listening to a couple of ads. So pick and choose, listen to whatever you want, but just know there are tons, and to check down on the feed to see what's been released, because I'm also today recapping the Traitors' first 3 episodes with Bergie, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to those. So that's going to be on there. I'll probably take a day or two off this next week because I've released so much. So that's just a little bit of a programming note. But you know me too. Like, I want to cover everything, and there's a sickness in my head. It's like an OCD thing where I'm like, well, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this. And I like to put things over on the Patreon, but I also don't want to, I know times are tough for people and I don't want to, it's weird. Do you understand that? Like,
I mentioned something like, you should put this on the Patreon. And he was like, oh no, people are going to be like, that's for rich people. Why would I do that?
And by the way, Patreon isn't for rich people. There are so many people that aren't rich on the Patreon. That's not what I'm saying.
It's also not very expensive. How much is
It's like $5 a month.
$5 a month, and you get so much more stuff. You can listen to Ryan every second of your life.
And you can send our baby to school.
Yeah.
No, I just have I have a war going on in my head at all times. So, but eventually what I would like to do is do more of a pop culture roundup with Rebecca on top of this that I would put directly over on the Patreon. That's a goal of mine because we can do that even with our child here at home. So, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I allowed to say who reached out to you yesterday in regards to the baby?
Sure.
So this is funny. I will say, so many of you guys or chumps, the Jeff Lewis, they've reached out and I don't get to see every message. I don't see a majority of my messages because I get nervous opening things. Like, once again, I'm weird. But so many people want to help. But Kristen Doty
who's been amazing, honestly, over the last few months.
She's reached out multiple times, but reached out to Rebecca yesterday to want to give her a bunch of baby stuff for our baby. And you guys, you're going to go meet up at some point and grab the stuff.
I think like in the next couple days.
Yeah, so she talked to Doty on the phone yesterday, and I was like, is that pretty weird to talk to Doty?
Honestly, she's so nice and amazing.
But you know what I'm saying?
Really, really nice.
If you don't know somebody, but you know of them on TV, and then all of a sudden you're talking to them, there is this thing that I even still get tripped up about, is talking to somebody that you cover on a show,
Totally, I hear you. I've been watching Doty for 10 years.
But it's really nice. I mean, like, it is really nice how many people have come forward and like tried to help us out in some way. So it's really.
But Kristen really has reached out a bunch over the last few months, and like she's beyond.
And she's a new mother too, so that really helps.
Yes, she'll be like 8 months ahead of us.
So what are the baby pains this week? Because you had a really bad night on Thursday night.
Oh my God, guys.
I mean, you're laughing now, but it was serious. Like, we were.
Like, I can't walk sometimes. Like, I don't know. Like, I have hip pain where like the other day I literally was like, I can't walk. Like, I had to like take my hands and like move my leg so I could like sleep on one side. Like, it was really bananas.
Well, no, you were like, we got to go to the doctor. If this
I was just like, if this continues, I got to call the doctor, and we're going to go see him in a couple weeks, and I will bring it up to him. But I know he's just going to be like, that's pregnancy. Because like, you could literally, like, obviously I'm Googling every 5 seconds. You could literally.
Well, you're like Craig. You're like ChatGPT.
No, I'm not
everything.
I'm not ChatGPT. I'm Googling, and I want to speak about that. But like, I'm literally Googling everything, and it's like, you could look up like, my arm is like broken and dislocated from my body. And they're like, that's pregnancy. Like, it's the craziest thing. So, but yeah, I like couldn't walk. But the next morning I could walk.
Next morning you were okay. And I felt so bad because Sandra and Maritza, I told them you were, and then they checked in and I didn't see the text for like a couple hours. So I think they thought something was, we were at the hospital or something. But it's a wild journey. And there's really nothing I can do because I'm not experiencing this.
I know. Ryan's like, what can I do? I'm like, let's switch bodies.
Yeah, that's her answer. Because I'll ask 1,000 times, switch bodies. We cannot. I've checked into it. I've asked ChatGPT. You can't switch bodies at this stage.
Yeah. Well, you could at a different stage.
No, it's just we haven't gotten that. We'll get there eventually, but the technology has not been invented yet.
Yeah.
Oh, but get this shit, you guys. The last time you heard from Rebecca was we were still in Arizona and we were about to drive home that day. And did we already talk about this? We were driving back and you hit me with the, we should have a second child.
Oh, no, we talked about
talked about this already?
Yeah. And like a bunch during this Southern Charm episode, there was like an older daughter and like a younger son. No, it was
Shep's cousin.
Shep's and Charlie's sister.
Oh, Charlie's sister.
Where I was like, this could be our life.
This has been such a struggle.
Ryan's
as
like,
is,
I hate you
where why
right
would
now. Why would we do this?
She has not enjoyed being pregnant, so why would you? And the fact that you're in the pain you were in, and then you're like, we should do a second one. When we first did this, it was one and done. And we were like a 1-season housewife. We were like, this is it. And then all of a sudden, I don't even know where that's coming from.
That's like biology, that's like, I guarantee like 3 months postpartum, I'm going to be like, babes, let's do it.
We don't even have the space for the
We're
baby we have.
We're going to be moving at some point in the next like 9 months. We have to move.
I just don't. Anyways, sorry to.
We're going to be moving to the Valley, and guess what, guys?
Yeah, we're on the next season of the Valley. God, that would be.
No.
Yeah. No, obviously. I do want to say, and it is interesting watching Southern Charm. I told you guys how there was a shoot the other night for Jeff Lewis's new show, and there's not really a lot I can talk about, but I will say it gives you an interesting perspective on these shows and like what is brought up on camera and what isn't brought up on camera. And you really do have a choice. You can stay mum in a scene, but I also think, and I don't have, I also think that some people get a camera in front of their face and they get really ballsy. They get like, oh, I'm just going to let it rip. Because I think that camera almost gives you this confidence, and not in a showing off way, but there's this weird confidence I think people get, or I'm noticing they get on reality television. And I think you tend to argue a lot more because it almost gives you permission to, which I was just trying to understand the psychology, because I think in normal life, we all usually run away from arguments, but on reality television, you go towards.
That's the Tom Sandoval.
Tom Sandoval, yeah. You run towards the conflict. And so I find it interesting now watching these shows.
But there are some people in real life that do run, like I know that some of those people that run
always towards
conflict, like get off at it. And I mean,
and that means you're perfect for reality television. So sign up for reality television immediately. So yeah, we'll go through this episode, obviously, and Rebecca's done a lot of research on a certain cast member that she's really...
Okay, no, last night I was on TikTok, like just doing my like normal 2-hour scroll, and like, Southern Charm stuff pops up. So this like old clip of Sally from season 11 popped up.
Sally Carson from Southern Charm.
Duh. Like,
I just want to make sure if somebody's like jumping in, like,
Okay, so it popped up and she was talking about her job. And like, listen, you and I have talked a lot about this job. Like, it seems like first you said she was a doctor. Like, you literally told me.
I just remember her in Scrubs last season, and she was like.
So that was the scene. She was in Scrubs, and they were talking about, she talked about she made $400,000 a year and all these things. So then I started looking at the comments, and people are like, she's not a nurse. She's not a doctor. So I was like, wait, I got to do a little more research. Sally is a medical sales rep. Okay?
Okay.
So Sally has an undergraduate degree, and then she did a 10-week course.
Yeah.
To be a medical sales rep for this robotics company. Okay? So what she does is she troubleshoots problems during surgery. She's not in surgery, like scrubbed up, doing anything. Like, That's not part of her job. And I think that she really leans into it and makes it seem like she's doing spinal surgery. She is not doing spinal surgery. So she is a medical sales device rep. Her job is to help surgeons troubleshoot the surgical robotics that they're operating under. So she's in the OR, but surgeons are the ones that are operating. And that's very misleading. So someone else wrote, I've been an OR nurse in Charleston for over a decade, doing tons of ortho and spine cases specifically at both of these major hospitals in the area. She's a rep. While reps can be insanely helpful in the OR, and an awesome rep can make a huge difference in how smoothly a case runs, she is no way performing or operating on anybody. She is not running the robots during a case. She is hitting a button at the surgeon's direction because he cannot touch those buttons because he's scrubbed in for surgery. So
she's kind of like a DJ.
Oh my God.
I'm joking.
She's like totally like a DJ. She's like a robot DJ. So when we see her in scrubs at her house, on the couch with her dog, when you're in surgery, you can't be walking in with outfits that you wore at home. You're in a very, what do they call it? You're in it's like a very controlled environment where you have to be changing right away. You're not scrubbed up. You can't be hanging out, So listen, she probably makes a lot of money. Sales reps make a lot of money. I'm not going to lie. They really do. But she's not a nurse. She's not a doctor. She's not performing your surgery.
Somebody's drinking a lot of haterade today.
No, it's just I'm just giving the people the information that they need to know, because we've even been saying what if you're getting spine surgery and you
Sally's
look up
there.
and Sally's there.
And she's tired from being in Craig's hot tub all night long. You notice her fingers are pruny from being in Craig's hot tub. And all of a sudden she's running the surgery.
Running surgery. A surgeon is running surgery and she's there. Now, listen, it can be really helpful. She picks out bolts and different things. She knows
the stuff.
She knows the things, but again...
But she's not making $400,000 a year either. She said she was making $400,000 a year.
It doesn't seem possible.
You were saying these people make $150,000, which is amazing.
Maybe 200. She's doing really, really well. I'm not going to lie. For being in her 20s.
Let me put a positive spin on it. Has the most real job out of anybody in that cast, probably.
I'm not trying to hate. She is a woman with a job, and she's doing it, and I'm really proud of her, and that's awesome. Better jobs, like you said, than anyone in that cast, but she is not performing surgery.
Okay.
All right?
So we're clear on that, everybody?
No.
Okay. Yeah. No. And that gives her a lot of time to thirst over these men of Southern charm. Now, Rebecca didn't get to see this because she was showering, but they now have, starting this week, a Southern Charm after show that played directly after the episode on Peacock. It's 27 minutes. It's actually really well done. There's a lot of information in there, more stuff about Austen talking about Craig and Craig talking about Austen, that love affair. And
the Austen-Craig love affair.
The Austen-Craig love affair. So that is there if you want extra Southern charm. It's actually quite interesting. Did I say it's actually quite interesting,
Did you see Austen was in New York to see Fish this past New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
And he was with a lady.
I don't think they were hooking up, though, babe.
Of course they were hooking up, dude. They were holding hands as they were walking in.
Dude, he was probably on mushrooms and acid. You're looking to hang on to somebody. I don't think he was hooking up with that girl.
She looked his type. She was a pretty girl.
Okay. I'm just saying, I think Austin's flying free, But do you remember the time? Because Fish does, the jam band Fish does this New Year's Eve run at Madison Square Garden every year. And remember was it Summer House that he was with Lindsay, and Lindsay talked about him being at the New Year's Eve thing, but he dressed as the Joker, remember? And I think he dressed as the Joker, but it was also online. It wasn't, because that was the pandemic year.
Oh, good for him though. He was really feeling it.
But he was dressed as the Joker.
I like it.
Oh my God. Anyways, folks, we are here once again to talk about our good friends over at Quince. Now, it's January here in Los Angeles, and it is raining cats and dogs, so you need clothes for those colder winter days. I'm wearing my very sharp, lightweight sports jacket, if you can see this on YouTube right now. But this is your moment where your winter wardrobe, it really has to deliver. And if you're craving a winter reset, start with pieces truly made to last season after season. Quince brings together premium materials, thoughtful design, and enduring quality so you stay warm, look sharp, and feel your best all season long. It has everything you need. Men's Mongolian cashmere sweaters, wool coats, leather and suede outerwear that actually hold up to daily wear and still look good. The outerwear, especially impressive. Think down jackets, wool coats, Italian leather outerwear that keeps you warm when it's actually cold. Each piece is made from premium materials by trusted factories that meet rigorous standards for craftsmanship and ethical production. And by cutting out the middleman and traditional markups, Quince delivers the same quality as luxury brands at a fraction of the price. The result is always going to be classic styles that you're going to love that hold up year after year. So refresh your winter wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/sobad for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/sobad for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/sobad. Anywho, speaking of Austen though, I did want to mention one other thing is that Austen was in the news this week in terms of the Bravo universe.
Oh my God.
Because of his interview on the Viall files with Nick and Natalie. And I don't listen to that podcast. I don't listen to really any Bravo podcast. That's not really a hate on Nick. What I will say in a positive way, even if I disagree with their theme or how they do things, to be able to build up something that is that big, you know, whether it be Nick, whether it be Heather McDonald, whether it be any of the big ones, knowing how hard this is to do, you have to give some sort of credit. Now, moving on past that, sometimes there is no excuse for interview questions that go awry that quickly in an interview because within the first 10 minutes of the interview, Natalie brings up like that Austen's sister died. And we know that if you watch the show, he's talked about that multiple times. He's not using that as a storyline. It's just part of his actual story, right? And you can tell that Natalie and Nick don't really watch Southern Charm. Like you get that vibe pretty quickly. And then I think
they watch it now, but it seems like they don't know. They haven't, like they haven't put in their 10,000 hours.
Remember
right?
when the Scandal thing blew up? Nick had not watched Vanderpump. He was starting
it's weird to me to be covering so much Bravo and not know your Bravo.
Well, it's not a grift. I think it's like, oh, this is proving successful for us. Now we got to cover it. And Scandal, when it happened, was like the number one thing that happened in reality TV. So you're riding that wave. It's like the people that rode the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni wave.
It's
you're
a little
riding
different,
that
though,
wave.
because there's been like 10 years of information that you need to know.
No, I'm talking about riding the wave of what's popular in culture at that moment.
Okay.
So you ride that wave, you know, if you could stay on long enough. So they're like trying to stay on.
But it was very callous the way it was brought up. Like, it was like, I'm glad you guys have never had grief. It seemed like I would never.
Well, Natalie was like, what's the deal with this cliff? Like, because she died of a.
Stop.
I mean, what's this cliff? Like that she, and it was very callous.
Stop. I like want to cry just thinking about it. Like, I can't even imagine. Oh my God.
No,
Poor Austen. That is a terrible thing that his family went through.
Obviously. And you've seen the pain. Also, you've seen a family go past that and still like remain strong. Like they're a strong family, like no matter what you think of Austen. So it is interesting that has become the place where PR people send all of the big reality names to get unfiltered interviews. Like they do not have restrictions on their interviews. And that's something that makes me that's the part that makes me insanely jealous. The success, the money, that doesn't really super matter, but.
Well, that would be cool.
Yeah, but like the unfiltered interview would be amazing. And it just, I can really not get those. So it's frustrating for me from the work I do from that angle, because I'm like, first off, you would never bring that up, especially that early in an interview, unless it was a storyline this season. And then
you can talk about it.
No, you can, but you wait for that entrance. You wait for that. There are context clues that a guest will give you where you know that you can push forward. Or you will check with them before the interview starts to be like, is it okay if I mention this at some point, if it comes up? Those are things that you guys, might not be aware of, but you always try to check because you don't want to. But my thing is, when I look at that, part of me thinks, well, rage bait is a huge thing. Now, everybody's making videos about how offended they are, and half of the people making the videos don't even listen to Nick Viall. So I always think then that's like a whole other issue that everybody's just like, now we're using it for content because that's the big thing. But aside from that, I think sometimes are they trying to do this because they know it'll get talked about, because they know it'll bring more listeners in, even if they're hate listens?
See, I don't think so.
See, that's the question I have, because now everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, you're right. But people talk about them all the time. Like, I think they just like are not fully, they don't have that sensitivity chip or something.
Yeah, well,
like they are missing something, because like even, they've been getting a lot of pushback recently with the Whitney Levitt stuff, which was crazy. But
well,
also,
Natalie especially is getting a lot.
24 years old, right?
Yeah.
25.
And they started dating when they were, which is 19, right?
Whoa.
I'm not trying to, that's what, isn't it?
I didn't know that.
But isn't that what it was?
I don't know.
You do know, because
no, I don't.
Okay,
I don't know their lore. I don't know Nick Viall. That's gross.
Well, regardless.
Okay, well, anyway, a 24-year-old talking about something, and someone in their like late 30s, early 40s talking about something so intense, I think go at it in a very different way.
Yeah, no, obviously, but it was really callous in the way it was brought up, and I think. It
made me feel bad for Austen. I was like,
she goes,
stop.
Wow, you're having me feel bad for Austen?
Yeah.
It was like Austen has done a lot of things that people could be upset by, but then you realize, like, man, there are certain lines where there is sympathy and there is empathy that you extend to somebody else. And I'm not to be able to say, there is a real conversation to be had about death. There is a real these are real conversations that you can have. You just got to pick the right forum and the right person. And you never know when that conversation is going to help somebody else, if it is done in the correct way. And also, the thing is, like, if you're not going to study up, if you're not going to do basic research, and the thing is, they have a team of people working over there. I mean, like, they have a team. And I always wonder, like, well, how did that happen? Because I know how many hard workers there are on his staff. And I mean, that's the other part I'm jealous of. Like, they have a whole staff. Like, how did that happen? And then how do you not edit that out knowing?
Because even when you do have a team and they're giving you all this info, they're giving you the one sheet or whatever, you need to do the research yourself. Like, they need to watch those episodes where that is discussed, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, listen, we've watched all those episodes.
But even like him talking about the cliff, you should already know it was a cliff. So if he says the cliff, you can like act like, oh.
How could you say the cliff? Like, how, honestly, like, that is disgusting to me.
But
like,
you can sometimes know the information but still have them answer it and hearing it for the first time, but already know that you got to prepare so much in an interview so you can just let it all go. Like, that's like the best thing. So even with like, I had to watch that Palm Beach members only show to interview a lady next week I already interviewed, but I had to watch all 8 episodes of that thing, and I didn't want to, but I did it because I wanted to make sure I was prepared to extend the courtesy to speak with somebody. And even then, you're not really able to use all that information of the 8 episodes.
How jealous is Jill Zarin?
Do you see what Jill Zarin is posting all the time?
So much.
With the lead of that show, Hillary? She's
like,
my best friend, Hillary.
He said, Allie's second
mom. I met her 5 years ago. It's never like lifelong friends. It's always like, I got her acquaintance 7 years ago, and now I'm going to be posting her nonstop because I want to be on the second season. Poor Jill, man. Like,
Poor Jill.
No, because there's a hole in Jill that will never be filled up.
Oh my God, wait. Did you guys see Jill's New Year's Eve post that was so photoshopped of her on a plane?
No, babe, she got that face surgery. She
did get the face surgery, but this picture is out of control. Like, she does look good, but not like a 28-year-old good. It was crazy. Go back and look.
Well,
guys.
She needs to tell her friend Hillary from that Palm Beach show to introduce her to the surgeon, because that lady needs the Jill Zarin.
It really shows that, like, you can have so much money and just pick terrible doctors, because these ladies look awful.
They look insane. They
look really
insane.
Do. And like, they should not. They should look amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I always go back to my girl Caroline Stanberry, who had like the best facelift. Kat Sadler.
By the way, I don't think Caroline Stanberry was that great. I don't.
Kat Sadler, they both use the same doctor here in LA, and it's like, they look unbelievable. Guys, get ready. In like 10 years, full on facelift. Get ready, Ryan.
Yeah. With
Full
what?
on.
What money are you doing the facelift with? Are
I'm
you
selling things.
Are you
We're
kidding
gonna
me?
be figuring it out.
What?
I need to start saving now $100,000 or whatever it is.
You will not be getting a facelift.
I
point blank.
100% am getting a facelift.
You will not be getting a facelift. We do not.
My body, my choice.
No, but that money can be put towards our daughter.
I will 100% get a facelift. I'm a vain girl.
Yeah. I don't think we should have this conversation for these people, but we've agreed for you not to get a facelift. Anywho, how are you guys? Are you good? Okay. Should we get into this episode, or was there any other things that you wanted to speak
speaking about plastic surgery, did you see that thing where Kendall Jenner said she's never had any plastic surgery?
I'm gonna mention this also with Sophie, but like I asked Rebecca last night because she was on the Owen Teal podcast. I guess they're buddies. And he first asked her about if she was like ever a lesbian or not, whatever. And then asked, have you ever gotten any plastic surgery? And she said like little baby Botox.
But didn't Kim once say she just got Botox a couple times? Like, please, we have eyes. We know what's going on. She has a new face. You don't grow up and all of a sudden your lips get bigger. You don't grow up and all of a sudden your nose gets more defined. I think she's had, and this is just me who knows nothing. I think she's had an upper bleph because the eyes are less hooded. I think she's probably had an eye lift, like one of those fox eye lifts that like Bella Hadid had. I think she's had maybe buccal fat removal. I think she's had a nose job, multiple, and obviously injectables everywhere, lips,
and
eyes.
Obviously labiaplasty like Molly.
Maybe.
No, but the other thing was, I'm the kind of person that I see that and I listen to the clip and I'm like, oh, okay. I immediately believe her because I'm an idiot. Because I'm like, well, why would somebody go on a podcast? You're in this, you know this person, you're friends with this person, so your friend is not going to let you lie. That's my other thought. So I hear this and I'm like, okay, well, cool. Also, I just accept it. And then I asked Rebecca, I go, hey, you really think Kendall doesn't? This is last night. You really think Kendall didn't have any? This is the conversations we have at night. You really think she didn't get it? And Rebecca was like, are you kidding me? And then pulls up all of these photos, and I have to say, once you look at the photos, then I was like, oh, that bitch is lying. She is lying. Her nose is completely different. How do you grow lips? Like, you can grow lips? I mean, and then I got really, as Lisa Barlow would say, frustrated because it really pisses me off that you have this forum to tell the truth and everybody would celebrate you for the truth. And then you still double down on the lie. And to that Owen guy, who's a comedian and a really good actor, how dare you let her get away with that lie?
Also, you don't have to talk about it. I assume
you cut that out.
Kendall's people are fully involved in the editing process. Like, you don't need to have that in it. So, like,
Nick Viall, if you're listening, when you get Kendall on the show, immediately hit her with, I know you're lying about this plastic surgery. I think everybody you'll get people in your good graces again.
You just don't have to talk about it. And it's really dangerous to do to young girls. Like, we set this beauty standard. The Kardashians have set a beauty standard for the last 10 years. And to say that they've gotten nothing done just fucks with people so hard. Like, of course she's gotten something done. Of course Bella Hadid has a new face. Like, are you crazy?
I am crazy a little bit. And I was just like, well, some people just got it. Some people are just naturally beautiful. But it's the same thing I always used to tell you guys when I worked at the acting studio. Some people had no problem saying, I go get acting coaching or I'm in acting class. Some actors would not say that at all because they want you to believe it's a natural gift. And I always thought that was the silliest thing because art really thrives in committee. Art thrives with ideas, and it's like the same thing. It's like, yes, you need help, and if you can get help, use that help because the more opinions, the more things, the better. Now, sometimes people overdo it, obviously, with plastic surgery, but if you have the money to do something and it's going to make you feel better about yourself, but keep it classy, why would anybody...
I truly think Kendall believes like she would have always been a model. Like, I remember when she was first like a little girl on that show and she was like, I want to be a model. And me thinking like, girl, like you're kind of homely. Like, I don't know, like you're not a model. But listen, she's gotten amazing work. But I think she thinks that like the Kardashians didn't make her, like that it was almost a hindrance to her. And like she flew above all the haters. I fly above all the haters. They're beneath me, like I truly believe she thinks that. And that's obviously not true.
Well, here, my other thought was, and this is like me trying to really help Kendall out. What if Kris Jenner would drug her and knock her out for days and then get the plastic surgery done on it while Kendall was like incapacitated. And then Kendall woke up with whatever done. So Kendall wasn't aware that these surgeries were being had on her. So she doesn't know.
What if they did like that mind thing, like Men in Black? They like, you know, so you should.
Rebecca, I'm talking serious stuff. That mind thing for Men in Black doesn't exist. That technology no, it doesn't exist. So I'm talking real.
I wish that like Chris come and do that for me.
Well, Eternal Sunshine.
That's what I was trying to think of.
Well, yeah. Actually, I read this fact the other day, and I know we're off topic here, but Eternal Sunshine, do you know there was a whole other storyline where the lead lady of Grey's Anatomy, what's her name?
Ellen Pompeo?
Ellen Pompeo had a whole other storyline in Eternal Sunshine as Jim Carrey's ex-girlfriend, and they cut all of it. I think you see her in a flash, but Ellen Pompeo was in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Isn't that crazy? Sorry. Anyways, Kendall, whatever you're doing, keep it up. I'm sure
it's great work. I liked her AD, her architectural digest of her new home. Like whoever
she doesn't mind giving credit to the architects that work on her houses. Why not give credit to the people that work on her face? And do you think those people that work on her face? Do you think
she also probably got a boob job? She probably got like there's please.
Yeah.
Come on.
Do you think those plastic surgery people like? Next time they see Kendall, they're like, hey, thanks a lot.
Yeah, I think they're like, fuck you. I think we see that all the time.
I guess this was just God-given, right, Kendall? Yeah, I bet,
Yeah, I think that in their mind, they're like, fuck you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I just did a whole work on you last year.
And has anybody sued a plastic surgeon because, like, did Michael Jackson ever sue any of his plastic surgeons of, like, what the fuck did you just do?
No, I think Michael really wanted to.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Okay, folks. Anything else?
No, that just really enraged me.
Yeah. Bapa do, bapa DTT. This is Southern Charm. This is episode 6. We're only 6 episodes into this season. This episode is called A Medium Rare Apology. And the description that Peacock gives us says Patricia hosts her annual guys' dinner where Austen and Craig see each other for the first time since their explosive fight. The way that they make this, I mean...
It's like Brokeback Mountain.
It's heated rivalry.
Yes.
It's like...
Are you in your heated rivalry shirt?
I've got... TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm in a heated rivalry Peanuts shirts.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll be on that TikTok and they get you. You know, you're like, I have $8. I have $8. What?
God, me too.
I have $8. Why not just get this? But
did you see that thing that I did in the bathroom yesterday?
Well,
I reorganized my whole bathroom.
Well, did you open the thing I bought for the toilet? I bought something on TikTok for the toilet.
Yeah.
Wait, why are you laughing?
I don't want to talk about that, but like...
Well, I'm just saying I got something for the house.
To clean the toilet. Yeah.
So it really knows me.
Ryan
Da. Anywho, so the Craig and Austen thing, it is getting weird because this is like they really are making this heated rivalry. They are really wanting us to be like, did these guys fuck at some point? Because it seems like such an emotional, turbulent relationship that I'm like, I'm not even worried about Craig and Paige. I'm not worried about Austen and Audrey. I'm worried about these two men. And if you watch the after show, Austen even goes into a little bit of just like, you know, when Craig asked me like what was going on with Audrey, that's the first time he asked me about myself in like months. It's the first time he asked, and I was like, their relationship is super weird. And you start to understand the hierarchy is that Craig really has set himself above these other men of Southern Charm. And potentially rightfully so, because he has his hand in all of these businesses. He's really trying.
Because of Paige.
Obviously, but I'm just saying, he has set himself apart. So it's almost like, I deem it worthy of me to ask you about your life now. So I think that's an interesting thing that people get offended by. So previously where we left off, because it hasn't been on for a couple of weeks, we had Sally saying that if Craig made a move that she would be into it. We also left off with like kind of this cliffhanger where they were in the hot tub with Corey and Craig, and it kind of was inferred that like Sally had spent the night. We don't really get a full answer of that this episode, but that was where we left off. It was the pina colada party where Craig got a pina colada machine and like an icy truck just for Charlie. Austen got a couple of cats, but then ran to Charlotte to hang out with his lady Audrey because he was so upset by Craig at the literary dress-up dinner. And then remember, Sally was talking about Molly's vagina. I can't believe this is my job. I literally just said that sentence. Sally's talking about Molly's vagina, you guys, because she found out from Benita.
like Molly can get her vagina done. I can't get a facelift. Not anytime soon.
Molly
guys.
doesn't have a child on the way. We're looking to move.
Not
we can't just
soon.
Oh my God. Well, no, you're going to do this with the money you get when I die. You're going to do this with my life insurance money.
God forbid that means that you would die like relatively soon. That would be awful.
Wait.
But guys, imagine I got the facelift and then I'm like out on the town, you know? Like who knows? No, God forbid.
God forbid.
Stop.
God forbid.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see here. She says she doesn't want to stop hanging out with Craig. That's what Sally was like. I don't want to stop hanging out with Craig. That was the big deal. She wants permission from Benita and from everybody to hang out with Craig. So we open up the episode. Remember, Madison is moving and there is a pregnancy pillow involved. Rebecca immediately spotted the pregnancy pillow.
It's my pregnancy pillow.
Yeah, I think everybody has the same pregnancy pillow, right?
Yeah, you're disturbed by the pregnancy pillow.
It takes up a lot of space. It's like a weird snake thing that is, sometimes I feel like I'm touching you, but I'm touching the pregnancy pillow. So that is very interesting. And there's the big teddy bear that Austen got at the baby shower. They got the teddy bear in, and the mover said, your husband said to throw this one away.
Well, like, obviously...
It's a joke. Austen said on the Viall thing that was obviously, he thinks that was like a setup thing.
I don't.
No,
like, why?
That's
fine. A huge thing. Like, where are they going to put that? It feels like a waste
of
money.
You put it in the baby room. Like, you put it... No, that teddy bear...
Nobody wants a massive life-size teddy bear.
I disagree. I think you do want a massive...
Please don't buy a massive teddy bear.
Nobody's going to buy it, but I think you do want a massive teddy bear.
No, you don't.
They have the space for a massive teddy bear. Anyways, we go over to Austen. He's throwing away cat shit. Craig is on his patio, or is in his backyard talking to his business partners Jerry and Amanda, and he keeps sipping his the whipped cream in his coffee. He's like, and his business.
We make our coffee the same way.
And his business partner's like, "Hey man, it's a little annoying when you keep slurping." But if you pay attention to what they're saying, it seems like they're having trouble with the Nashville store. That maybe they expanded too quick with Sewing Down South. That's what it sounded like from the two sentences they left in.
Wow,
right?
To be a Bravo celebrity and to do the least work possible and have a thriving business is just unbelievable.
Unbelievable. We go over to Miss Patricia's place, and Randy, the new butler, he is helping Miss Patricia do the arrangements. She got these beautiful dragon plates out, and she's like, wrong spoon, Randy, wrong. I don't know.
How was Randy hired?
Well, listen, obviously, Michael, the butler, we love him. Rest in peace. He was truly a butler. So, I mean, I'm sure she needed some help, and Randy was willing. But, Miss Patricia's like, oh, it's turned the wrong way, Randy. Come on, this is turned the wrong way. And she says that he's a nice person, but he's not professionally trained as a butler. And this was really threw me for a loop. He is most interested in being a DJ.
You know how I feel about men and DJs.
Randy, the DJ Randy.
Guys, I think I've spoken about this in the past, but men at a particular age, I'm looking at Kyle Cook, I'm also looking at Ryan Bailey, all of a sudden want to spin the tracks.
No, I want to be a magician. I got a magic set, you guys. National Geographic. A lot of people reached out and said their kids have this magic set, but I don't care. I'm starting at a kid's age, so I'm a magician now.
This is a new thing. Ryan's in love with Oj Perlman.
Oj Perlman, the mentalist.
The mentalist, and who is unbelievable.
He's unbelievable.
But Ryan is obsessed with watching clips of Oj and listening to different thing with him when he was on Howard. So now Ryan wants to be a magician.
Yeah. I do want to be a magician, and I feel like it's a great backup career for me if this podcasting thing doesn't work out. It's like
you're like a little
stable.
Shaky though with the hand.
I know that. See, I did think about that. Guys, I've always had a natural shake in my right hand, and there's nothing I can do. I'm okay, but it's always it sucks. It's hurt me at auditions before, because then you'll notice the shake and I'll even get shakier. But it's always been like that, even since I was a little kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'll take beta blockers for it, which kind of will even it out a little bit. it used to be much worse, but man. So yes, I'm already at a disadvantage for magicians, because you don't usually see a shaky magician, but maybe no. But if you look at it positively, maybe there's a little hole in the industry for a shaky magician.
I love it, actually. I love the idea of a shaky magician.
Yeah, can you imagine me doing shaky magicians and you're drawing attention? You're not supposed to draw attention to your hands because you're trying to do slip, and then I'm just shit. I think that's
You also got a book, a magician book?
I did get a magician book. Shut up. You know what?
No,
I think it's better than being a DJ.
It is better than being a DJ. When are we going to start seeing the things? Like, it's actually going to be really cute with our daughter, like, to do, like, little magic tricks. When am I going to see our first trick?
Well, it's been a really busy week this week, so I'm going to try to do one trick this weekend. So this guy wants to be a DJ, and if you see... Oh, no. We had a little dog interference there, you guys. So basically, Randy, if you see Randy, he does not look like he's going to be the type to be a DJ in the first place. You know, you're like, Butler, I can almost see. DJ, it's really hard for me to see at all. So, but Randy wants to be a DJ, and Miss Patricia's like, it's okay. I can teach him how to do these things, how the silverware is placed.
Wait, I have a question. Yeah. This is on the DJ thing. I planned, like, for the last year that on this birthday of yours that I would get you, like, a DJ set. Do you not want that anymore because now you're a magician?
No, I would always want a DJ set. Like, I mean, I like making mixes, but I never wanted to be a DJ. I just wanted to clear that up. I wasn't looking to be a Kyle Cook, like let him cook tour. I don't want to do that.
Oh my God, can you believe that?
I can't believe that. Let him cook tour.
Oh my God.
What a way to show that your relationship is done. But anyways, I was more thinking for mixes for myself, like, you know, Friday afternoon, or you're like mixing up like whatever, you know, our daughter's listening to. Like, you wanted to teach them the appreciation of mashups. Anyways, Randy, we find out, also left his cell phone in the oven, and it melted, and there were toxic fumes over the house. Now, Randy, I've been really light on you and really like easygoing, but if you harm Miss Patricia because of one of your antics about leaving we're going to have words, Randy. DJ Randy, we will have words, because I think that is insane.
I want to know what his DJ name is.
I hope it's DJ Randy.
Oh my God, and Randy is your favorite
Randy's
name.
my favorite comedic name of all time.
You would have been DJ Randy.
I think Randy is one of the funniest names I've ever. For some reason, ever since I was a kid, the name Randy just makes me laugh.
What if we named our daughter Randy?
No.
With an I?
No. So anyways, the dragon on the plate, Whitney comes in. Miss Patricia's son is like, oh, that'd be a great tattoo. And says, Miss Patricia's like, well, these all-male dinners get way more gossip with the guys. They're just way more fun. And Whitney is relaying that Craig and Austen are still not, you know, good with anything. So maybe this dinner will provide some sort of healing, a bridge, as it were. And Miss Patricia's interested in hearing what Craig has to say. In a flashback scene with Whitney and Austen, Austin's just like, okay, so there's a flashback scene with Whitney and Austen in Whitney's lair, his lair back in the back of Miss Patricia's house. And
is that where it is?
Yeah, that's where it is. They had that last season. When
I thought it was like his own separate thing. I didn't realize.
Yeah, it's built, and it looks like a nightclub in there. But Austen wants to hear if Craig has the ability to apologize, what that would look like. They need to duel. Like, they need to have a duel, like
with their dicks.
They need to have a dick sword off, or just straight up fuck at this point. Like, meet me at the cottage, Whitney's lair.
I think they should like hold each other. Like, I don't know about like fucking, but
sometimes
like maybe making
when
out.
we touch, the honesty's too much. Have you ever heard that song?
I think so.
Anyways, we go to a new scene, and we're with Marcy, Shep's cousin, that was on the show, I think last season or the season before, and they have two kids, a 3-year-old and a newborn, and Shep comes over, and he's trying to bond with the kids.
Shep looks good here. Like, I don't know if he's on something.
You said it's really the best he's looked in a long
time. I think he looked handsome.
Ooh. Not Whitner handsome, huh? Not Whitner. You love you some Whitner.
I think he looked better than Whitner. Maybe.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I will say this was really funny. I had more auditions this week than I've had in years, and I was at this audition yesterday, and they paired me up with like a 7-year-old kid that's supposed to be my son, and those are the most awkward auditions ever because. First off, these kids are more professional than the adults.
Oh, my God.
I mean, these kids are like...
Always. I used to work at a casting office, and like we cast a bunch of kids, and every time they would come in, they were always better than the adults. Like, better. They knew everything more. They were professionals.
Yeah, they were. So this kid knows everything, and it's a really funny... I can't talk about the spot. It's like a Super Bowl thing, but you're like... but you're also trying to bond, like, this is your son, and you have to be like, hey, buddy, you have to, like, it's, like, super
like
weird.
Creep.
Well, but you're also like, I'm not a dad yet, so I don't, it's like these, but it was so funny. And then this kid's, like, nailing it. Like, the casting director's like, oh, that was perfect.
They're
Ryan, that's way off base.
But little Jimmy, you got it. Yeah.
I was like, this fucking kid, man. Anyways, Shep's like trying to play with the kids. And he's like, yeah, it's like a different path with kids. It's like not necessarily me. He goes, I have a paternal instinct. I'm just trying to figure it out. Your paternal instinct is like you're the daddy to a bunch of young girls that you're trying to sleep with. That's your paternal, and that's what that is, Shep. Doesn't mean you need to sleep with the girls. It means you maybe should consider not. And I don't want him to spread his seed. Like, I don't want him to have kids.
I think that Shep will in like 10 years.
Really?
Yeah, I could see him in like his early 50s.
But he's like, well, I did do an adult thing. I bought a house. And she's like, you mean you just bought a bigger house? That's an adult thing? He's like, oh, yeah. And in a talking head, he's like, I would love to be struck by lightning at the unconventional. I would love to be struck by lightning, too. But, it's like, I am the unconventional age of 45. I'm still trying to figure things out. And
but look, like with you, like,
I don't want to know.
Like,
but I wasn't, I don't think I was ever a chef.
Similar
I had like
age.
I had a couple of years where it was like shaky, but I never thought of myself as a chef.
No, I know, but you didn't think you were going to have a kid, and now look.
Never thought I was going to have a kid. Never thought I would get married again. Never thought.
And look, everything is coming up roses.
I never thought my fiance would try to kill me and collect life insurance.
To get that facelift.
Yeah, to get a facelift.
Yeah.
But he just says, I'm not the white picket fence kind of guy, but he does want a family. He says he's happiest and feels the most alive when he's traveling. We all do, dipshit. Like, we all feel like when I get to go someplace, you do feel alive. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, he doesn't live in reality.
But Marcy is like fully laughing at him. And he's like, yeah, settle down is now what it's not really what I aspire to. And then he's like, but all my heroes are like ill-behaved guys. And then he picks out Warren Beatty. He's like, Warren Beatty now has 4 kids. I think Warren Beatty has like 2 to 3 kids with Annette
Warren
Bening.
Beatty did settle down when he was a hoe.
Oh, he settled down on the movie Bugsy with Annette Bening. And I just read this amazing biography about Warren Beatty last year. The difference also is Warren Beatty put out so much amazing content in terms of his film work, his production work, his political work. He really did a lot. He also was a Lothario, and I would argue that his Lothario ways turned out to make him a little bit more of a joke than I would imagine he would have wanted to, because that was part of it. He wanted to sleep with as many girls as possible. He was really into the art of lovemaking. Like, he was like a big Kama Sutra guy. Like, he was
like you.
like me. Yeah, like me, of course, So I just find it funny that he picked out Warren Beatty. We cut to Vanita in a restaurant.
She looked beautiful.
I think Vanita always looks beautiful.
Wow.
And the bartender notices that she's a little spitz, and he's like, hey, it's hot outside. And she goes, not really, I'm just oily. If somebody says it's hot outside, you just say, yeah. You don't offer like, I'm just oily, right?
Maybe she was just oily.
Okay, but she was just oily, but like, would you offer that up?
Yeah, maybe yeah.
Okay. So she's meeting Sally there, and Vanita says their relationship, their relationship is starting to weird me out. Oh, no, I wrote, Vanita and Sally's relationship is really starting to weird me out. Are they the female Craig and Austen?
No, I mean, listen, I think that like a lot of people, I'm sure listening, have had those relationships with women when they're dating someone who is just shitting on them over and over again, and you listen to it for so long. I mean, I know this is a little different, but then like you say, like, I can't do it anymore. Like, I mean, I've had those times where I'm like, I can't hear about, Randy anymore, right?
Randy.
Yeah, but I have a question. Like, what I like forget what happened with Vanita and Craig. Like, what was it?
No, we talked about this before. It was that Craig publicly said, I think on Watch What Happens Live, that he doesn't want to be Vanita's friend.
And that was it?
I mean, that was it. But like Craig didn't think Vanita talked poorly about him. Vanita took sides in the Paige thing with Paige. I will say, though, like, I remember when Vanita was on this show, and it was right, like, I asked her about the Craig and Paige breakup. And she, was just like, they're both great people. Like, she was very PC about it. Of course, I couldn't even get her to say something good on this show. And even when I put on the image that she spoke about Craig and Paige, Vanita had messaged me saying, hey, don't put that out. I don't want to ruffle any feathers.
Did you take it off?
I believe we did take it off.
Yeah.
But like she was, she wasn't upset about it, but she was like cognizant of it.
I heard something about like how he wanted to like lock her out of filming or something.
I mean, like, you're trying to protect your bubble, but reality television, you're supposed to not be allowed to protect your bubble. So if Craig doesn't want something to happen, as a producer, I would make sure she is definitely on the cast because you want that conflict. Anyways, Sally gets in there. They're awkwardly drinking champagne. And Sally is just like, listen, because Vanita's like, what's the end goal here? And Sally's like, well, there doesn't have to be one. I'm just having fun. And Vanita's like, but Sally,
But that's not true. Like, she's not just having fun. She wants to be with Craig. Like, that's a lie.
I mean, but a lot of us say we're having fun when we're putting ourselves through deep pain, right?
I guess.
Yeah. But Vanita's like, Sally, you would like to be married and have kids. So why do you keep giving him the time of day? Because he is going to waste it. And he's like, there's something to be said for a friend who can see the mistakes and help you. I'm trying to protect you, Sally.
But again, that will ruin a friendship. Like
of course,
I just said,
yes.
Like, if you tell
You've
people
got to let friends
things,
make their mistakes.
Yeah, but it's hard sometimes. It's hard to watch it.
And I do wonder how much of this is encouraged by production because you're like, Vanita's not going to win. Vanita's not going to win.
But it does seem like she's spending every weekend till 4 in the morning.
Yes, according to the show. And she's like, I'm trying to protect you. Craig will walk you like a dog on a leash and let that leash go. Now, those are strong words. When you say walk you on a leash and Sally's like, in a talking head, it's always like in the talking head that they're the most bravest. Sally's like, not even my parents talk to me like that. Like, who the fuck are you to tell me this?
She's like, I'm a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm in scrubs right here. Her talking heads are in scrubs. Like, I'm in between surgeries right now. Vanita says, don't come crying to me when he breaks your heart. In a talking head, Vanita says, you pick him or you pick me. Someone who makes your life, someone that makes your life like better, pick one. You're going to lose every time, Vanita. And also it is getting weird to me of like, why are you going so hard? You've got to let people make these mistakes. I think Vanita's in really weird territory here that even though I don't agree with Sally, I don't think we're getting to a place where this isn't Vanita's place. Do you
This is
disagree?
Vanita's storyline. I think this is like all she has. Is there anything else?
But Sally's getting up and is like, let me find out for myself. And Vanita's like, you want to let you get your heart broken? Then do it. And that's what she wants. She wants to have permission. And we know where this goes. Now, a bummer was that Sally was on Watch What Happens Live this week and Charlie was in the audience. And it doesn't seem like either of them are with Craig. It didn't seem like Charlie is with Craig.
Yo, what's her face? Sally has been talking mad shit on TikTok about how, like, when you get the final ick about Craig and stuff, I'm like, girl, he didn't want you.
Are we sure that was about Craig?
Yeah, she was like liking posts when people were like, oh, the gym video or whatever. And I guess Craig posted a video of him working out in the gym with like a lot of like different filters on it. Whatever. It is a little cringe, but like she would be loving that if he wanted her.
Yeah, if he wanted her, he'd be like, that's
awesome.
So, by the way, Craig, I noticed this week, he's like, was he hiking the Himalayas? He was in the snow
really?
and all. I'm like, poor Craig, man. He's really on a walkabout. He's I think Craig's still really messed up.
Obviously.
Yeah. But did you see this week, or I just noticed today, I guess on Giggly Squad, Paige made reference to Joe D'Amelio, the guy that from a year ago, and they are still dating. So, I mean, listen, I'm a Paige stan, but I mean, maybe everybody was right. Like, she really was dating that dude at the very beginning of this breakup.
It seems like Craig was hooking up with other girls while they were together.
I don't think he was. I think he was just
kissing.
Messaging.
No, he was. Remember, he said in the show to not feel guilty after kissing a girl. So, like, he was. I don't think
that's what that was in reference to.
Yes, of course it was.
Craig
like, we all watched that. What are you talking about?
You even see from the show that Craig can't even make a move in a hot tub when like these two girls want him. He is so like in his own head.
Why would he say that? I don't believe.
Because he even feels guilty right now. I don't think I'm wrong. We cut to Miss Patricia's house, we're in the lair again, Whitney's lair, and Molly's going over there to Whitney's F-boy lair, there's like all these Warhols. They had to blur out in the background.
He
like
had
the Marilyn Monroe Warhol.
No. He had Liz Taylor and he had Elvis. Those are really amazing pieces to have. And I was wondering, like, what those guitars are. Like,
he has a lot of nice guitars.
Whitney is interesting. He did a Austen documentary, like, in 2010.
If you look at what he's produced some really cool things, including Southern Charm. But I will say, Whitney was wearing an Aero One veteran hat.
You would be wearing that right now if I could.
No, I noticed that on TV.
You love Air One.
You love Air One.
Wait, can we talk about like a while ago?
You love Air One.
A while ago, we were talking about how
I love hats, by the way.
No, but how people the hot bar at Air One, and you've now experienced
the hot bar. Yeah,
the hot bar at Air One, and how good is the hot bar?
It's good. It's good, but I'm not like, oh, you need to go to Air One today. She was going there because she's obsessed with this like coconut juice thing that has like
they have these amazing coconut juices.
It's way overpriced, you guys.
It's
but anyways,
disgusting.
Whitney's wearing an Aero One veteran. I too have fought in the Aero One wars. So as a veteran myself, Whitney, I see you. Molly brings Whitney a cupcake because last season, remember, he said that Molly didn't need to eat a cupcake because of her weight.
Dick.
And
that reminded me of Shaws of Sunset when Mikey June said to Mercedes that she shouldn't have a chocolate croissant. Do you remember that? That was so awful.
Yeah, Molly reminds us that Whitney and her hooked up 10 years ago, and she thought maybe we'll date, but obviously not. Whitney says that Molly is more like a sister. Like we have more of a brother-sister relationship. So maybe it's like a Flowers in the Attic vibe. Molly, he sees, has like this horrible elephant tattoo that she got in Thailand, and he makes fun of her. But then Whitney goes, I got a Jägermeister tattoo, and pulls up his sleeve. He got a tattoo of the, deer on the Jägermeister. That's like if I got a White Claw tattoo or like a Loverboy tattoo or something. You know, why would you ever...
At least that's cool. Like
a Jägermeister tattoo?
No. Listen, I hate Jägermeister. I had a Jägermeister night in college. Like they had Jäger night at one of the frats. I still can't like smell Jäger.
So specific, yeah. Anyways, Molly plays some of her singing. I do love Molly's voice. Whitney asks by a producer, is it his kind of music? He goes, no, but I have horrible taste in music. There's like a bunch of flashbacks of Whitney playing the guitar. And then for some reason, Molly tells Whitney about her labiaplasty. And Whitney's like, I had no issues. I had no issues when I was down there. And then at Talking Head, Whitney's like, yeah, shave the curtains for like a nice clean. I was like, what the fuck? Shave the curtains for? And then he tells Molly, oh yeah, so you kind of had an outie and then they made an innie in regards to her vaginal lips.
That's what it is.
It is, but like, would you ever volunteer this to any of the men of Southern Charm? Because they're going to say shit like this.
He has seen it.
Anyways, but he saw it when it was an outie.
He loved it.
He loved it.
And that just shows you, like, men are just happy to be there, guys.
Yeah, they're excited to get a ticket to the party. So we cut to Charlie, and Charlie is meeting her sister, Davis Renee, and her two kids.
That was what her name was?
Davis Renee, yeah.
But the little son was named Davis.
No, it said Davis Renee when it popped up. Maybe I'm totally wrong here. Sorry, guys.
Maybe Marcy's son was named Davis. There was another Davis.
Maybe Davis is a huge name in Charleston.
Maybe.
These sisters are from different dads, and then her sister is asking Charlie, are there any prospects? She says, there's this guy, you know, and they cut to Craig saying, blue raspberry is my favorite, in regards to like the icy machine that he bought for his party.
Ryan was so disturbed by that icy machine. He was like, how could you spend all that money and only have like one icy?
Oh,
like,
man.
I guess like they had like 5 ices that whole time.
No. If you're going to spend $1,000 at 5 ices, go give it to like underprivileged people, like kids and stuff like that. Like they would kill for a nice, facelift over here. Thinks that's Miss Facelift over here. But she says, I'm reticent about Craig because, you know, Sally's into him as well. And the sister's like, well, don't close yourself off to the possibility of something. Charlie lets us know in a talking head that in therapy, she found out she was her mom's consoler and growing up. and that she was only okay if her mom was happy. And her mom was married 3 times. I think that's such a little nugget that got like sped over, but like that really shows you everything you need to know about Charlie.
I like Charlie.
I like Charlie a lot.
Something about her I really like.
But that is a very interesting little. Her mom was married 3 times, and she felt like she needed to be her mom's consoler.
Oh my God! And then they showed this photo of like the mom holding her, and it was like very strange. Did you remember that photo?
Yeah.
It was funny.
We cut to Craig. He's in a suit, no tie, and he's at his place called By the Way, which is Austen and Craig's restaurant that they own in Charleston.
It looks so nice.
It did look, and it looked like it was busy.
Yeah, it did. It looked great. Like I had no idea. When you told me that, I was shocked.
We see that this is a scene with Whitner. Whitner comes to meet Craig.
My boyfriend.
Craig's like, I saw you work out at my gym today. And Whitner's like, yeah, there's no fan in there. They go into one of those like kind of rough and tumble gyms. And then Craig goes like, yeah, I go there. And Austen goes there, but he just walks on the treadmill at night. It's not even a cardio gym. So already he's like picking at Austen, and Austen's not even there. This guy doesn't even use the gym for the hardcore workouts you're supposed to do. Like, listen, if you just move your body, that's all you need to worry about.
Well,
Sorry.
That's what you do at the gym. You're the cardio guy.
Yeah, I'm the cardio guy. I'm not, but I do, I worked out with a trainer recently that, I got to get back to. But he's always shitting on Austen. Also, Craig orders a Diet Coke and a Pilsner in a glass.
Again, that's you.
Yes, I'm not complaining about it. I'm saying that's what he ordered. I respect that.
You would order a Diet Coke and a Hefeweizen in a glass.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yes, I like it. So they're talking about the Austen thing, and Craig's like, I try to talk to Austen, but he's like doing this victim thing. It's like an unhealthy perspective to have. I guess I'll see him at Miss Patricia's guys' dinner. And then he goes, Whitner, I had a really good therapy session with ChatGPT yesterday.
So wait, can we talk about how like he told Madison he went right back to therapy? Does therapy mean ChatGPT?
I think it has. I mean, yes, I 100%. Yes.
Craig should date.
ChatGPT?
No. Do you know if anybody's on TikTok too much? Like about 4 or 5 months ago, there was this like crazy girl named Kendra who was like in AI psychosis with her ChatGPT, and she called it Claude or something, or Henry. I'm not sure. He should date Kendra.
Yeah, he should date. But anyways,
God, men will do anything not to go to real therapy.
But this is really, the ChatGPT thing is becoming an issue about like people really going to ChatGPT for advice that they should be not getting from a computer, even though it's just the most insane thing. And to hear Craig say this, it's scary and funny at the same time. And he's like,
he can afford a great therapist.
And he's like, I feel so wronged about my fallout, like after the breakup. And
he said he cried to ChatGPT.
Yeah. And he goes, Austen, like Austen and Audrey, like he doesn't want to commit to that relationship, and he doesn't want marriage, and like it's like it isn't.
I want to marry.
And he goes,
him.
It isn't fair. It isn't fair. Whitner in A Talking Head goes, I'm kind of sympathetic because we've kind of gone through the same thing, and then they do that blurry photo of the ex that left him, and he would be like, it's like I would be a liar if I didn't say I wasn't angry because I'm still angry. I will say on the Watch What Happens Live After show, they asked her, like, why is Charlie and Sally not into Whitner? And they said, something like, you'll find out, you'll see. And so I think Whitner has skeletons in his closet,
listen,
like I've said all along. Epstein.
Stop. I've said from the very top, like, I like Whitner now, but it's probably because I don't know enough about him.
Yeah.
Like, what if he's not a real lawyer? Like how Sally's not a real doctor.
Yeah, he's just saying he does like, the robot work for lawyers.
He like, what is it called when you're like not a lawyer?
Kim Kardashian?
No, you're like what is it called? Like a paralegal.
Paralegal, yeah.
What if he's a paralegal?
Still a job. But Craig says, ChatGPT told me, was like, you have to be patient with yourself. I fucking cried talking to my phone. And that chapter with Paige is closed. But other parts of my body are like, fuck your heart. Like, but what are the rules of like making out? Like, do you have to date each other right after? Because I don't want to date, but I do want to make out. Now, this is really funny. But at the same time, these are the thoughts that go through guys' heads. Like, seriously. And I would argue that you would want this guy as opposed to the other guys that are just completely fucking and not worried about your feelings at all. Is that correct or no?
You don't want any of these guys.
Okay. Whitner's like, well, what about the candidates that are like hanging out in your hot tub? And Craig, he's like, oh, okay. And Craig's like, well, what about you? And Whitner goes, dude, I have a 9,000-pound armor on. Like, I got stood up on Valentine's Day.
God, can you imagine? Wait, have you ever been stood up?
I don't think so.
I don't think I have been either.
I mean, I've had bad dating experiences,
but like, have you ever
I've
gone to a place and they didn't show up?
I don't believe so. And I think if that happened to me, I would have taken it hard, but I also would have been relieved. Like, oh, good, I don't have to do this. You know, like,
I guess.
Because it's so nerve-wracking. But Craig once again goes, I cried to a robot yesterday. Then we cut to 1 hour before Miss Patricia's male dinner, and Miss Patricia's like, the dragon represents Eastern lore, love and friendship, and maybe everyone will resolve their issues. We shall see. And then we cut to Austen's house where the two cats, Martina and Piper, are there while he's eating Chick-fil-A. And then he lets Audrey know that he eats before because these male dinners in the past, he always ends up losing his appetite because there's fights. That's how traumatic these things are.
I also think, like, sometimes you need to eat before a party because you don't know if the food's going to be a certain way, when you're going to be served. Like, you might not eat till 10 o'clock at night. Like, yeah, I might need a nugget or two.
But I thought this was a really interesting way to, like, talk about reality television as well. Even though he's been doing this so long, he also now knows enough where it's like, yeah, these things are not
forever.
No, but these things aren't designed to be fun. They are designed to have some sort of trauma associated with it. So you just never know when you have the hot potato. So he doesn't know what he's walking into. And I thought that was interesting. Audrey is...
God, poor Audrey. Like, I've been thinking a lot about Audrey, like, especially watching that Watch What Happens Live with Sally when she was like, if you think this is bad, guys, wait until you see me with Austen.
Yeah.
Which I'm, like, horrified and scared for. But, like, if I was Audrey, I would be so upset, like, watching this, or not. Obviously she's not watching, but just like probably hearing about it in the periphery is like, that would be so difficult.
But I will also think, I think Austen is a sensitive enough person. Well, probably not, because he just fucking did that Instagram with Madison and her husband it was the four of them. It was Sally, him, and then Madison and her husband. And they did this, like, you know, LOL funny Instagram of
was it funny?
Young parents and then them drinking shots and stuff. Sally and Austen, like, Sally is gunning for, I mean, I think they're together. Actually,
no.
I fully think they're together 100% at this point, because Sally said on Watch What Happens Live, they talk every day. And we know that Sally, like, we know how Sally.
Together.
Well, if Sally gets even like knocked off by Austen, that is like, you know, sad for. But
Sally's thirsty.
But don't you think? Like, I was gonna say, I thought Austen was sensitive enough to be aware of posting with other girls and stuff like that. You know, like that was. You know that it does go through the mind of like
girls, but he's on national television, like saying
I
don't want to be with her, and then like how I would sort of.
Well, I don't want to be married to her.
No, okay. Anyway,
but I'm just saying, I would hope it would go through his head of like, yeah, that he doesn't want to continue to hurt her feelings.
Yeah, he'll just hurt her on national television every episode.
Where you should hurt somebody.
Yeah, I would be in the hospital. Like, literally, like, I looked over at Ryan and I was like, if you pulled something like this on me, like, I would be so... That's when I would lose all the weight, probably, get the facelift, get my tits done, and just, like, go off.
Great. Perfect. Well, that's the future. The future looks bright.
Yeah.
But...
Again, a long-suffering Audrey.
A long-suffering Audrey. Audrey, you know, he's bitching to Audrey about Craig and this guy's dinner, and she tells him, well, don't like hop in and forgive him and go back to normal if it isn't the right thing to do. We cut to Miss Patricia's place, and which, by the way, Whitney is complaining about their furniture not being comfortable. And I was like, Whitney, you would love our place. Our furniture is not comfortable at all. We just even like...
Ryan wants lazy boys in the house. Like, he literally...
What's wrong with a little comfort at the end of the day?
Literally, like, if that was his choice, we would have a lazy boy situation. Like, we have
I have something that breaks my...
we have very cute furniture from Anthropology. That's fabulous.
I don't need Anthropology. I'm good with IKEA. I do not need fancy stuff.
IKEA, no. We have a very comfortable glider for when the baby comes. The
glider is comfy. The glider is comfy.
That's as close to a lazy boy as you're going to get.
Okay, I'm not saying a lazy boy. I'm just talking about a comfy couch that you can actually sleep on if you need to.
We have a pull-out couch.
I don't want to pull out. I want to watch TV where you're laying and watching TV and you're able to take a little nap.
Our couch is
This couch is never take a nap. Never take a nap. This couch is designed to hurt you. We're going to punish you. You're going to feel bad for yourself.
It is so chic. I'm sorry that I have taste. Ryan doesn't, again, lazy boys. If it was up to
you say lazy boy, I'm talking a comfortable couch. I just want a this seems to be such a foreign concept to you. A couch that you can watch TV and sleep on. That's it. And I don't mean sleep on because I got kicked out of the bed. I mean when you're just watching TV.
Oh my God, imagine if I kicked you out of the... Get out.
Get out.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have all the guys coming in.
It did look comfortable. The furniture did look really comfortable.
Well, the couch looked way more comfortable than our couch, and Whitney was complaining about their furniture. And I was like, wait till you get here. Shep walks in. Shep's all in white, but Whitney's like, your shirt is terrible. And he's like, it's summer, baby. Whitner comes in. Rebecca was like, ooh, Whitner's very nice. Dressed very nice.
So nice. I loved his bow tie. It was very chic.
He was very Eddie Haskell with Miss Patricia, too. He was kisses her hand. He was like, a pleasure to meet you. Debonair.
You should be like that. He knows. He
was laying it on thick.
As one should.
Well, Craig walks in. Craig's the first one that brought a hostess gift. And I will tell you, I was not aware of the hostess gift, too. In fact, when I went
I always make you bring something.
When I went to Sutton Strack's holiday party with Doug Buden, I went to Doug's first, and Doug was like, you didn't bring a hostess gift? I said, no. So Doug gave me a hostess gift to give to Sutton.
Well, thank God, because you would have probably given her one of our bottles of wine that's $25, and that would have been disrespectful.
Something is something. Shep, we find out, is leaving for Cuba tomorrow. Steven...
Because that's when he feels alive.
I feel alive.
Yeah.
Steven, Whitney's and Shep's friend, comes in. He has a British accent, and he's like, a bottle of La Grande Dame for the Grande Dame, Dr. Steven.
And that's what you should have brought for Sutton, something like that. Also, where was Rodrigo?
Exactly. This episode was lacking Rodrigo. And if you're having a guys' dinner, Rodrigo is the man in your cast. What is happening there?
You're setting him up as a character
and he's been a bigger character every season, and I think he's been great this season. Why would you not invite him to this?
Not that I didn't like Dr. Steven. I did like Dr. Steven. I would like to see more of him. But where was Rodrigo?
But they've also had gay men in the past at that men's dinner, because last year...
what are you trying to say there?
No, I'm just saying, before, well, maybe it's because he's gay or something like that. It's that doesn't matter at all. So why was Rodrigo not there?
He should have been there.
Rodrigo, tell us why. I know you, but anyway.
And your husband should have been there.
Exactly.
It should have been a whole thing. I don't understand. He's married, right?
Rodrigo, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not married yet.
Okay, well, your boyfriend, fiance should have been there.
But he said, my relationship with Austen is dependent on where he is with himself. And for him to, come at me for him to skip my pool party is so insane, Craig says. And then Austen finally...
LOL, that was funny.
Yeah, Austen finally walks in, and Craig looks worried when Austen walks in. We start out the night with these pork dumplings with ginger peach hoisin.
Looked so good.
This Randy, the DJ butler, he tapped Patricia on the wrong shoulder. He can't even tap Patricia on the wrong shoulder. Don't make Miss Patricia move her neck too quickly. That's...
Why aren't we hiring someone who is a professional butler? I don't understand.
Randy wants to learn. I'm not saying Randy does not have the capability, but I just am worried something's going to happen on Randy's watch.
Something already did happen on Randy's watch. He
And also, Miss Patricia isn't paying for your cell phone just because you burnt it in the oven. Let's also clear that up. Randy.
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not either.
DJ Randy.
Yeah. But she lets the guys know that the Asians theme represents friendship and love because of the dragon. And then there's another awkward look between Craig and Austen. I love the camera work and the editing of this, of really focusing on Craig and Austen. Austin's like, Miss Patricia, let me show you my kitties. And Miss Patricia's like, I love cats. And Austin's like, I do too. And Craig laughs.
That was funny.
And Austen kind of clocks Craig laughing. So we're already on then these scallion pancakes get delivered. Really thick, juicy scallion pancakes.
Yum.
Miss Patricia asks Austen, like, are we going to have wedding bells anytime soon? And he goes, no. I just, I can say confidently that there is no rush on that front. And then Stephen's like, I've heard many no's in my life, and that was a really extended, nice one. He's cracking up.
Again, long-suffering Audrey, if I was watching this and they said something to you about, like, when we're going to get married, it's so offensive. Like, just say not right now. This isn't the time.
Then we get delivered these really big, nice, large fillets. Like, fillets are usually tiny, but these were, like, really big. I noticed that.
This meal looked fantastic.
Looked great, yeah.
Yeah. Like, see, we got a professional there. Why can't we get a professional
Randy, yeah. Whitner, Randy, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I'm not meaning to. I hope your DJ career flourishes. So, yeah, there's that.
He's not meant to be a butler. He's meant to be a DJ.
I think he's good. It's help for the time
DJ
being.
Randy.
Whitner says that Charlie is the most attractive, but then lets us know he got a polite no when he asked her out, and we have a flashback of Whitner saying, hey, do you want to have a drink sometime? And Charlie was like, well, what if it was like a small group situation? Now, that happened to me in high school. I've told that story many times. But yeah, but I didn't realize that Whitner had asked Charlie out. So that was the first time we saw that flashback.
A girl said, I didn't want to go with you.
Remember, there was like the girl said yes at first, and then like the next day she was like, what if we had like a group situation? And then I was like, I'm going to make it the best group date of all time.
When after Ryan and I went out on a first date, his like parents came to visit, and I was like, all right, do you want to go on a second date? And he was like, yeah, my parents are here. Do you want to all get together?
I don't. But
with his parents.
Wait.
On the second date. I don't know this man.
I loved my parents so much. I'll introduce. But it wasn't like this is a big deal. It was like I hang out with my parents.
It is a big deal. Like, can you imagine? Like, if you're like I've only met this guy once, and now he's like, I want to introduce you to my parents. And I said to you, I really like you, but like, why don't we hang out after your parents leave?
Okay. Well, anyways, I'm just saying I did not.
That was weird.
I didn't have any sort of hang up. That wasn't. I wasn't like, oh, you have like the privilege. It was just that my parents were. Anyways, sorry. Yeah.
I'm just saying you wanted a group date too.
Yeah. Anyways, Whitner says, I'm just saying it's not a big deal.
It wasn't, guys. Isn't that weird? Can you imagine you date someone one time and then they want to introduce you to the parents?
Hey, chat.
Yeah, I'm going to ask chat.
Hey, chat.
Yeah.
Miss Patricia says, I had a long chat with Madison, and I hear, Craig, you have been Mr. Hot Tub with girls every night. And the British guy, Mr. Stevens, is like, Mr. Hot Tub? I like Dr. Stevens' additions. He's just laughing the entire time. And then Miss Patricia's like, well, what do you do, when it's really steamy in Charleston and it gets hot and steamy in there? And he's like, I jump in the pool and, it's a fun circuit. But some people make fun of it because I haven't kissed yet. And Stephen's like, you seem like the one who would be in the most serious relationship. And Craig's like, Craig loves her, but I was in a 3-year relationship. Bought a ring. She left. But I wish we could go back. I can't lie to you and say I wouldn't take her back. So that's big news right there.
Well, not really. We're only 4 months out of them breaking up. Of course. Also, do you think he really bought a ring?
I just don't think he did, but...
speaking of rings, did you see that Naomi, or however
got
you say
engaged.
Got engaged
I talked about
to Brooke
Nader's ex-husband.
It's actually Brooks with it's Brooks
Nader.
Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
Yeah. Again, I'm not sure why she's so famous, but she's famous.
Yeah. Anyways, he says I wouldn't take her back. Don't worry, Craig. I don't think Paige is going to ask to come back, but
she's with that guy who's a billionaire. Isn't he a billionaire?
I have no clue.
He's a big time guy.
Shep in a talking head says he's very surprised that Craig is saying this. And Craig in the scene is like, well, it takes a while for your heart to catch up to your brain.
Yeah, because Craig is an actual man. Austen doesn't give a shit about them after they break up. Sorry, Audrey, again.
And Whitney goes, fuck her. The Arrow One general says, fuck her. And Craig's like, it'll be better next girl. I was good at being single at one point in my life. He really is obsessed with what is good and what is I do understand that, it's like wanting to feel some sense of normalcy again in your life and realizing you're out of sorts. But that's what ChatGPT is for. Then we have our dessert course, which
do you think he named his chat?
Yeah, 100%.
God, okay, Craig, if you're listening, which you're not probably, but I want to know what your chat is called.
It's probably Austen.
Stop.
Because he's like, my ChatGPT Austen is so much better than real life Austen.
It's Austen with an I, not an E.
Yeah. The dessert is a sweet rice cake, caramelized mango sesame candy. A great meal, like really good meal.
God.
Dr. Stevens might have broken a chair because there's something that breaks every time at one of these parties, but we're not fully confirmed. And then Austen goes, Craig, maybe you and I go talk, yes? And Craig's like, yeah. And Miss Patricia's like, well, I'm going to retire. Whitney, you can come back more often, please. I don't know what accent that was. Whitner. Yeah, Whitner, you can come back more often. So Craig and Austen go to the patio, and at first there's just cricket noises. Cricket, cricket, cricket. And Craig's like, what's up? And Austen says, I can't lie and say that sitting inside and laughing is not really nice. But that hasn't been my sentiment the past few weeks. Because it's been, from the anger at Whitner's party, I felt so utterly betrayed that I was like, man, what am I even doing with you? And Craig's like,
I just can't quit you.
Craig's like, yeah.
It felt so Brokeback Mountain, this whole thing.
I can't just deal with one dry fuck every year. Craig's like,
heated rivalry.
Craig's like, you triggered the fuck out of me, Austen.
Dry fuck. And
then I hit you back. That's from Brokeback Mountain. He's like,
they talk about a dry fuck.
Yeah, then they have anal sex in the one scene too.
But they don't talk about a dry fuck.
Yeah, I think that's the line. Like, I can't just deal with one dry fuck every year. I can't just put up with that.
Wow.
That's what Jake Gyllenhaal says in the scene.
Wow.
Anyways.
Have you done that scene in acting class?
And I wasn't good with straight or gay scenes romantically. Like, I just don't consider myself a sexual romantic person. So like any scene in acting class where there would be kissing, I would just miss that class because we would have to do the full. My teacher was like a perv. We would have to do the full kiss,
Obviously, but that's like how every acting class is. Like they like.
I hate that. Like I want to do the quirky roles or
everyone is like fucking on the scene. Like truly. And then like you're like, we need to rehearse that again. And like you're like at someone's house rehearsing. And you
would have to do like round robin with your acting partners, and like you do, it's like you just didn't want to be like, I don't know. In my head, it would always be like all the girls be like, I had to kiss Ryan tonight. Like I had those thoughts, like there was thoughts.
Oh, I love kissing you every
night. Gross. Anyways, Austen's like, Craig, I don't know when you're going to laugh and when you're going to do what you did the other night, which is like go nuclear. And Craig is like, you hurt me before too. It doesn't make it right. And Austen's like, I don't want to feel like I'm playing chess with my friends. And Craig's like, there is not a game of chess. And Austen's like, I don't want there to be one. And Craig's like, but there's not. I don't want to it would be great if like the ChatGPT is like, Craig, you're going too hard. Stop. But he's like, I don't want to apologize, Austen, if you're like, like you're pissed and like, but you made fun of me because like I like feeling safe around people, and what you said triggered like those things, and it's like it makes me reminded like of having bad friends and like what my friends used to do to me, and it's like I went right back to my therapist, Austen, which I'm like
Austen with an I,
but ChatGPT, like Austen doesn't know you went right back to your ChatGPT. I paid for monthly service on ChatGPT because of you.
He definitely pays for the upgrade. Like 100%.
I don't know what the path forward is, but I would be okay with giving each other grace on this, And like, it wasn't malicious. And Austen's like, well, it seemed malicious, Craig. And Craig's like, that's a decision you're going to have to make. We either accept each other or give it space. I miss hanging out with you, man. And Austen's like, I heard you. I cannot help but fucking care about you, Craig. I mean, I just can't quit you. Like, I don't want to keep redoing this, though.
It's like, I can't do one dry fuck
I can't just do one dry fuck a year, dude. Austen in the Talking Head's like, I have no idea what's next for us, but it's a ceasefire, And it's like, when you set your expectations low, that's where we are right now. And that's the end of the episode. But next week, we have Sally telling Craig that she's catching feelings. And then we have Craig asking Charlie to go like hunt for oysters. And then we have Rodrigo letting the cat out of the bag saying, well, Craig's about to go on a date with Charlie. And Charlie's in the room. And Sally's like, what? What?
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
Ba-ba-doo.
Ba-ba-doo. So that's it for today, folks. Didn't Rebecca do good? What a peek inside the window of our relationship. Is there anything that you would like to share with the audience?
I think we've shared a lot.
We've shared a lot. So have a great rest of your weekend. The Traders recaps are out there. I also did a full character breakdown with the Bravo investigator. Very long 2-part journey if you're curious about anybody. We got one person completely wrong, I found out, that I have to do again. So apologies. I'll tell you after this. But anyways, have a great rest of your weekend, folks. But keep coming back. Just make sure you're subscribed, and that's when you know a new episode will have dropped, okay? Bye!